Hey everybody, this is Julie Bonner. This is a video about unearned revenue, a video series that I'm doing on the chart of accounts. So I'm taking specific accounts that would show up in a chart of accounts and actually walking through how you would recognize that you need to use this account in a journal entry when you're looking at a word problem. So the whole idea behind this is that the big struggle I've seen people have is when they read a word problem, how do they translate it into an actual account name so that you can write your journal entry. So today we're looking at the unearned revenue account. And this unearned revenue represents the fact that your company has had a customer who's come to you and said, I want to prepay for some products or services, but I don't want them delivered yet. And this, you can see this like down at the bottom. I'm telling you that a gift card or a gift certificate, those are these types of ways that you prepay for products or services. And we see this more often nowadays with companies that offer these gift cards. Also, you've got companies beyond the Starbucks example, like Boeing, for instance. I have not ever worked directly for Boeing, but I would imagine that a customer of Boeing would probably not come in and have, $10 million that they would just plunk down for an airplane. And so what I would imagine they would do is they may pay in installments for that plane. But until that plane is actually delivered, Boeing can't recognize that as revenue until the actual plane is delivered to the customer. And so if the customer is actually prepaying in installments for that plane, Boeing would have to put that into an unearned revenue account. So those are just some examples that you might see where this would be used. So let's take a look at the T account, if you will. So unearned revenue, when you purchase the gift card or gift certificate, it would go as a credit into the unearned revenue account. And it's a credit because this account is actually considered to be a liability. You as a company are liable for producing that good or service later on down the road. So it's not free and clear you're getting this money. You actually have to turn around at some point and actually deliver whatever it is that the customer wants. And so it's classified as liability, so anytime we sell those, we have to put it as a credit. Now, when the customer comes and actually obtains and we deliver that product or service, that's when we debit that account. Pay attention to the wording. It's really important to pay attention to that. So as you are reading word problems, you want to look for a clue that tells you whether or not the product or service has actually been delivered or not. And if you are able to see that, you'll know based on that whether or not you debit or credit. Now, other things can actually go into this account. So if you were to look into the general ledger and you were to look at the unearned revenue account, you would see sales of these gift cards, these prepayments coming from the customer coming in as a credit. You would see some debits coming in where the consumers are actually taking delivery. Then on any account, I don't care what you're talking about, you could have some adjustments or corrections that happen, and those can be debits or credits. It just kind of depends. There shouldn't be many of those. But at the end of the month, when we add up all of those transactions, whether there's 10 or 100 or thousands of them, the balance at the end of the month for that unearned revenue account should be a credit. If we have a debit, that should alert you especially if you're a non-financial manager, that should alert you that there is some sort of problem with that. And so working in conjunction with your accounting department, your accountant, you would work to try and figure out what has gone wrong with that. Big keys about unearned revenue is the fact that the customer is prepaying. They haven't actually taken delivery of that product or service yet. That is the big deal. Then knowing exactly how the account is credited, how it's debited, how that flow works, and keep your mind tuned into the wording that would illustrate this type of scenario. That way, when you're reading a word problem, you can go, oh, so the customer hasn't received the product yet. This is unearned revenue. All right, I hope that helps. It is imperative that you ask questions here on YouTube if you have any. I will certainly get back to you if you do have questions. It will also help me to refine and improve the videos on this channel. So please, please, please leave your comments, leave your questions, and I will talk to you again in a future video. Thank you.